Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, great. So what do you have for us to work on today?
So this is a sentence that my professor said was like too long or like wordy.
Okay.
So I thought I could get help with it here.
Sure. So why don't we start? Why don't we begin by? Do you mind reading it out loud?
Okay. North Lawndale College addresses the problem of reform by redesigning their school while taking into account how children in such a deprived neighborhood will aspire to pursue higher education levels and work hard in school.
Okay, so it's definitely a little bit maybe too long, and it's a kind of wordy sentence, so we can definitely work on that. So just to make sure that I really understand what you're trying to get across in this sentence, could you, as if we were having a conversation, tell me what is it that you're trying to get across in this sentence?
Okay, so North Lawndale College, like the school, they like redesigned how they teach things so that they encourage the students in their neighborhood to, like I said, to pursue higher education levels and to work hard in school.
Okay, so they redesigned their school to encourage children in their neighborhood
Right.
to pursue higher levels of education.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
So let's make sure that that's really clear in the sentence.
Okay.
So why don't we begin or start by looking at the very first part of the sentence up until their school.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and identify the verbs in this, the first part of your sentence.
Okay. North Lawndale College. So addresses
Yeah, that's definitely a verb.
the problem of reform by redesigning.
Exactly. Okay, so let's look at these two verbs in particular.
Okay.
Do you feel like one of them is really more important to the message that you're trying to get across in this sentence? So what is the North Lawndale College really doing?
Well, they're redesigning, I guess.
Okay, great. So why don't we, because usually in your sentences you want to be straight to the point.
Okay.
So why don't we make this verb the main verb in this,
Okay.
in the very beginning of your sentence? So
All right.
how, if I were to cut this first part completely, how could we revise this sentence using the word to redesign?
So could I just say redesigned?
Exactly. So why don't we write that down?
Okay.
Now, is this something, this reform that the NLC has done, is it something that they're doing right now at the moment, or is it something that they've done in the past?
No, they did it like we did it years
Okay,
ago.
so that's something that's already being done. Okay, so we need to make that clear in this sentence.
Okay.
So we need to make this verb, we need to reconjugate it and make sure that it's in the past tense.
Oh,
How will
okay.
we do that?
Will we just make it redesigned?
Exactly, we
Okay.
can, so that's definitely in the past tense.
Okay.
Okay, great. So now we have already reduced a couple, gotten rid of a couple of words.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's do the same thing for the latter part of the sentence.
Okay.
So let's start from here where it says children in such a deprived neighborhood, and let's identify the verbs in the latter part of the sentence.
Okay. Children's such a different. So aspire.
Exactly. So will aspire.
Will
you have-
aspire.
So that's in the future.
Okay. And then pursue. To pursue.
Exactly. Give me another one.
Oh, and work hard.
Okay, great. So you have three verbs in this, in the latter part of your sentence.
Mhm.
Do you feel like they're all saying a different thing, or do you feel like maybe two of them might be saying the same thing, maybe being a little bit redundant?
Well, work hard's definitely different,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that, I mean, I guess will aspire and to pursue, they're pretty similar. So.
Yeah, I would agree. So there's, I think we can get rid of one of them. Which one do you feel like is more appropriate for this sentence?
Pursue.
Okay,
I think
so
that's-
what can we, do you feel like we can just get rid of this, will aspire?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and cross that out. So we
Okay.
have now one verb to pursue here.
Okay.
Now let's look at the connection between these two sentences. So just, do you mind reading out loud what we have so far?
Okay. North Lawndale College redesigned their school while taking into account how children in such a deprived neighborhood to pursue higher education levels and work hard in school.
Okay, and do you feel like that makes sense, or is it a little bit awkward?
I feel like this is really weird, like the two, like maybe the two or something.
Exactly, I would agree. So, and there's really isn't like a clear connection between the two parts of the
Right.
sentence. So why is it really, why has NLC done this reform? So what's really the reason they have done this redesigning?
Well, I mean, it's to encourage the students to like pursue higher education levels and work hard.
Okay, I like the word to encourage that
Okay.
you used. Do you feel like we could use that to connect the two parts of the sentence?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, and how will we go about doing that?
Could I just write, like, could I just like cross this out and write to encourage?
Exactly, that's something we can do. So let's do that. Okay, so let's read it once more just to make sure that it makes sense.
Okay. North Lawndale College redesigned their school to encourage children in such a deprived neighborhood to pursue higher education levels and work hard in school.
Okay, so do you feel like it's already becoming a lot clearer?
Definitely.
It's less wordy, it's
Yeah.
making sense a lot more already. Great. Now let's see if we could be a little bit more specific in some parts of the sentence. So
Okay.
can you, I have a couple of ideas, but can you think of a word or a phrase that could be a little bit more specific?
Is it like in such a deprived neighborhood as maybe?
Okay, exactly. So what neighborhood are you really talking about?
The neighborhood around North Lawndale, it's like the North Lawndale neighborhood.
So that's, the neighborhood where their school is located.
Right, there you go.
Great. So how could we signal that here in this part? So instead of saying in such a deprived neighborhood, what could we add there just to make it clear that you're talking about the community where NLC is located?
Well, could I just say the neighborhood?
Okay, and can we make it even a little bit more specific? So you're talking specifically about the NLC.
Oh.
What if I told you to use the word it? How could we use that to refer back to the NLC?
Well, could I just say, could I say it's?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So in its neighborhood.
Okay. And are you familiar with the difference between it's with an apostrophe and without an apostrophe?
No, I thought it always had an apostrophe.
Okay. So it's with an apostrophe. That's just an abbreviated form of it is.
Oh, okay.
Whereas it's without an apostrophe, it's
Mhm.
possessive.
Okay.
So which one do you feel like would be more appropriate for this case?
Well, since it's the neighborhood of North Lawndale, so it should be possessive, right?
Exactly.
So, no
So we want to get rid of the
apostrophe?
apostrophe.
Okay.
Great. Any other places where you feel like you could be a little bit more specific? Or you feel like, okay, it's already as clear as it
I mean,
gonna be?
I feel like it's pretty good. I don't see anywhere else it could be more specific, really.
I would agree. As a reader, the only thing I'm kind of questioning is
Mhm.
that here when you say their school,
Oh.
are you really, did they, and this is something, I don't know as a reader, so did they really redesign their entire school, like the teaching materials and stuff, or did they just redesign their curriculum, their teaching materials, or their way about going,
Well,
their teaching philosophy?
They didn't like rebuild the school or anything. It's just like, yeah, it's like the curriculum.
Okay, so maybe we could specify that. So
Okay.
let's include the word curriculum there.
Okay, so should we just say redesign the curriculum?
Okay,
With that.
let's do that.
Right.
And do you see why that's already a little bit more specific than the school?
Yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
exactly, as a reader, I could think that they actually redesigned a physical building.
Right, right, they didn't.
Great.
Okay.
So let's read it once more to make sure that it's clear.
Okay, North Lawndale College redesigned the curriculum to encourage children in its neighborhood to pursue higher education levels and work hard at school.
Okay, and is there a reason why you got rid of the word deprived neighborhood?
No, I don't know, I just.
Do you feel like that adds to the sentence?
Yeah, I like deprived.
Okay, great. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that we should leave,
Yeah, I think
leave
that's-
that there.
Okay, so in its deprived neighborhood to pursue higher education levels and work hard at school.
Great.
Okay.
So if you feel like that's a sentence that's a lot less wordy?
Yeah, it's so much better.
Great, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.